Yes. So we install JDK Eclipse. Okay, the links. Okay, create Java project and under this here. Okay, that is the rules for the class name, right? So the class name should be start with what, uppercase. So you can also use the lowercase, no problem, but that is standard notations. Class name should not start with the number. Okay, the class name contains the underscore in between two words, right? But no space. White spaces are not allowed. Special character are not allowed except the underscore. Class name contains numbers also, but that should not be start with the number. So this is the rules for the identifiers also. Okay, identifier means the one entity, okay, which is used for writing the any program. That may be the variable name, any name. So identifier is just a name which is given to the programming element. So the rules for writing the identifiers, okay, that is unique. Okay, so class is also the identifier. So we have to give the proper convention, naming convention, okay, to the class. So now today we are going to see what is variable, okay, and data types. What is use of the variable? What is the use of the data types? Okay, so before that we are going to see just comments also, right? Comments, how we can give the comments. Okay, just save as. Okay, making here one date 3. Okay, so how we can give the comments in the Java program? So there are the two types of comments: single line comments and multi-line comments. Okay, what is use of comments? Whenever we are going to write any program, okay, or any functions definition. So to understand the code for these modules or uh, particular modules or particular button code or whatever, so we write the other one comment. So this code is belongs to this one, or the developer written the code, but later the new developer has come. So we should have to understand which part can we, what is the part of this project means. So this module is belong to which part. So part is one, the developer gives the comments to understand, easily understand. Okay, so because in the real time project, so the codes are very lengthy, so it should be easily identified. So that's why just giving the comments, okay, it will easily identified, right? So you can give the single line comment as well as multi-line comments. So how we can give the single line and multi lines? Okay, let us see. And the comments, whenever we are going to write the comments, the Java compiler does not compile. Okay, that is cannot, compiler is not going to read this one. So single line comments means we can start with the double slash. Okay, this is what single line comment we can give as a single line comments. Okay, if you want to give the multi-line comments, then you can start with the slash asterisk and you can write here the statements whichever you want to return, but that should not be read by the compiler. Okay, this is what multi-line comment. Okay, so we can see just one program here. Okay, just Java classes. Under the Java classes project, they are having the src folder and it's day 2. Let's I'm going to create another package. Okay, which one? Huh. Black screen. Yeah, you can remove the black screen, no problem. I think I have already shown you last time. Let's see the appearance. Okay, can go to the window and preference. Okay, you can change the font, you can increase the font, you can change the font color, you can change the background color. Okay, here is having the options. Go to the general. Sorry. Yes. Okay, okay. You need zoom. Oh, got it. I think okay, right? Yeah. See here. So this is what Java classes is the project name. Okay, and we made there is a one src folder source, and we created here the package. Okay, date 2. So now I am going to create a new package. So what you need to do, you have to just right click on here. Okay, we have to just right click on the src folder, right? Just click new and create here what package. Okay, and create here the new package, that is what day 3. So new package is created here. Inside the package you can write the Java code class files. Okay, day 3 package. Now so if yeah, you can also zoom, no problem. And now right click on the day 3 package and just create a class file. Okay, just right click then new and go to the class Java class file. Okay, just I am giving here the name. It's a second program. Okay, this is what demo 1, this is what demo 2. Okay, I am clicking here the public static void main. That means I am going to add in main method and just click on the finish button. Okay, so you will get here the single line command. You can see to do auto generated method. So this is not going to be read by the compiler. Okay, this line is not going to be read by the compiler. This is what just a command. So I want to print any something on the console. So can write here the SOP. System dot out dot println. This is method is used for what? To print the string on the console. Okay, println, and inside a double quote you can write anything. That is why I am writing here welcome. Okay, so now just right click and run as Java application. So you can see the output. So welcome. So now in the SOP, whenever we are going to write in a double quote inside a double quote method, that is what is string. Okay, so this is what single line comment. Okay, this is what single line comment. Okay, so now what I am going to write here again SOP statement I am going to write. Okay, and instead of this welcome I am going to write here what here welcome to Java, and here I am going to write here Selenium something. Okay, now this we have the two statement and this is also the comment. Okay, just I am going to remove this one. We have the two statement here now, and now I want to execute one statement. I don't want by skipping the other statement. so that we can use the comment line. Okay, so here the two statements are executed, welcome to Java and Selenium. Okay, but I don't want to display uh, this Selenium. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to remove the code, I'm just going to give as a comment. Okay, so how you can give the single line comment? By using the double slash. Okay, this is for the single line. Okay, so here I have given the uh, double double quote, sorry, double lines, sorry, double slash. Okay, I have just given here the double slash, so that is what it's a comment. Okay, this is what single line comment. So this statement is not going to execute it or compile by the compiler. Okay, so it is not going to read by the compiler. Okay, so the compiler comes here and it's read this statement, and whatever the output is should to display, that is display, but this is going to comment. Okay, it's not going to execute or the read. So now you can execute, so we'll getting here only one statement, that is what, welcome to Java. Why? Because I have committed this line. Like this way, I want to comment this first one and I want to only execute this statement. Okay, that is depend on you which statement you want to execute. Okay, don't comment that statement. Whatever the statement you want to don't execute, you don't want to execute that statement, you can comment that statement. Okay, this is also the one another use. Okay, and also the first use is for understanding the code, you can write the comments, otherwise you can skip this comment. Okay, sorry, skip the code also, skipping this statement, that is also you can use the comments. So if you want to comments the multiple statement, okay, if you want to comments the multiple statement, if you want to skip the multiple statements, okay, then you can use different multi-line comment statement. Okay, so we can use here slash asterisk and something, then code here or statement, then can you put here the asterisk. Okay, this is for multi-line comments, means the statement will start from this one. Suppose I am writing here this following, this following this following code is for this following code for arithmetic operations. Okay, so now this is what here the statement. So Java is not going to understand this one. Why? Because we don't have this a syntax in the Java, right? Because Java follows a standard syntax. So I have written this statement, it is only for what, understanding to others. Okay, understanding different developers. So that's what I am going to do. This statement is not going to be read by the compiler. Okay, so if I am not commenting this one and I am going to execute, so what I am going to get here, so it's gives an error, right? You can see here the syntax error of the token for something, semicolon expected. Okay, then here the syntax error, right? So if showing the syntax error, something semicolon missing, so now I'm putting here the semicolon again, it will going to show the and errors. So let us see again, it's showing the error or not. Yes, line number 10. So this is line number 10, it's showing the error because Java is not going to understand. So now I don't want to execute this one. Actually I want to uh, read, I need this statement in our program, but that should be not executed by the compiler or something. So what I need to do, I just give that as a comment. So you can give as a single line comment as well as you can give the multi-line comments, no problem. You can give the multi-line comments like this way. Okay, this is also okay, we can also, this is also valid, we can also use, but sometimes the statement is break into the next line. Okay, sometimes our statement is going to break into the second line, so that we can use the multi-line comments. Okay, something I am going to write here. Okay, so this is what two line statement now. Okay, this is what two line statement. So now if I comment this one double slash, that means only the single statement is going to comment it. But what about this one? This is not going to be comment. So what we need to do for this purpose, we use a multi-line comment statement. So we start from slash asterisk and we can end with slash asterisk slash. Okay, that means this is what multi-line comment. So you can put here the multiple lines. Okay, you can write here the multiple lines, right, in down, and you can give here the start from this one and you can end with this one. So now this is what commented. Okay, once you're going to execute this one, so it is not going to be read by the compiler, right? Only you will get the output, that is what Selenium, and I have already skipped this one. So now just I am going to remove the comment, and now these two lines are active and this is what comments. Okay, this is what multi-line comments. So we are not getting the any kind of the error because we have written this in the comments line. Okay, this is about the multi-line comments. So now again I am going to use some different statement. So if you want to skip the multiple statement, don't want to execute a multiple statement, so you can use the multi-line comments, right? So two use are here, for skipping the statement or for understanding to the for us, or you can say the developers also. Okay, for which this code is belong for what module. So I'm printing here something once again. Okay, suppose I am writing here, and in the SOP whenever you are writing in the double quote, that is what is string, and now I am writing here 100 plus 200. So what is your expected output here? Anyone can tell me? If I written here like this way, 100 plus 200, what will be the expected output? So the statement we are going to comments we are going to use in the real time when we start programming for the Selenium with Java. So also we can use the comments there for skipping statement something, right? Now what will be the output here? 100 plus 200, what will be your expected output? Yes, 300. But whenever I am going to use here the double quote, so what will be the output now? And now no. So this is the things whenever you are going to write inside the double quote. Okay, whenever you are going to write anything inside a double quote, that is what string. This is what string. So as it is, the output will get printed because this is the string. String is characters, collection of character, right? This is collection of characters. So 100 plus 200 is going to be displayed in the output. Okay, because I have written inside the double quote. So now just I am going to remove here the double quote, right? And now it is reading read as a numbers. Okay, now the Java compiler, this is read as a numbers. So now we'll get here the expected output is 300. Okay, so the comma, double quote, single quote, that is very important. Now you can see that 300 we are getting here. Okay, so whenever you are going to write in the double quote, that is going to be display on the consoles. Okay, it is not going to perform the any operations whenever you are going to write anything in the double quote, but this is going to perform the operations. Why? Because this is reading as a numbers. Okay, and the same thing we have written inside the double quote, so this is not going to be print. Okay, so this is not going to be calculating, it's just printing the output. Okay, 100 plus 200, you can see here the output. This is one 300, it is producing the 300, and this is what giving the 100 per 2 plus 200. So now I want to skip this one, so what I am going to do, we can single line comment or you can double line comment, right? So this statement I have commented. Okay, I have skipped this one, means the Java compiler is not going to read this one now. Okay, so how many statement I have commented? Three statement, right? Okay, so only one statement will get executed, then output will be only 300. Okay, this is what single line comment, right? So if you want to use the multi-line comments, you can. Okay, Okay, so now just I'm going to write here, just copying here this statement. Okay, multiple statement I'm going to write here. Okay. Okay, so now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times this statement I have written. So now what will be the output here? Just first, what is going to be display? This is this read by the compiler? This first statement, this one? No, no. This two is not. This one? Yes. So what will be the output here? 300. Then this one? Okay. And from this one, from to this one, every is completed. So what will be the output? 500, 500. So what will be our expected output? 300 and 500 5 times, 6 times, right? Okay. And see the console. Okay. First is 300, then 500, 500, 6 times. Okay. So now I don't want to execute this the all statement. Then what we need to do? I can use here multi-line comments. So how we can start the multi-line comments? So backslash then asterisk. Okay. And this is what started, and we need to end this one. So we can write asterisk and slash. Okay. So now it's commented. Okay. So it's not going to be executed. Only one single line statement will get executed. Okay. Only 300. So this is the use of comments. This is the use of comments, link single line comments and multi-line comments. Okay, got it? Yes. And now suppose in Eclipse automatically code is get populated. Okay, so if you write here the system, okay, then you can press the dot, you can see the code. Okay, dot system dot what in class are like this. Okay, and right here the output, then out that print ln. Okay, so this is what print ln, and this is for the new line. Okay, if you not written anything in this single double quote, so this is for what new line. Print ln means a new line print. Okay, so system dot out dot print f for formatted output and print ln for the new line. Okay, so it will give the new line, right? Print ln, after this printing it is print the in the next line, this line, next line. Okay, so we can also use here shortcuts. Okay, so I'm going to show you one of the shortcut how we can give here. If you don't know the exactly statement code. Okay, so just press here the control plus space. Okay, control plus space, so you can see automatically the methods or code something get pop up. Okay, you can see the populated here. So if you write here something, okay, so just control plus, then give the control plus space, automatic it gives the suggestions, right? Auto suggestion are displaying for the code. So now if you want to start from the system, okay, you can see the system out dot println. Okay, system dot out, so control plus space. Okay, you can see here something, and in the right side you are giving the descriptions also. Okay, string, array class. Okay, yes. The for statement, if you want to use the for, then this is the syntax. Okay, if you want to use the catch block, this is the syntax in the right side. Okay, if you want to use the else blocks, so you can see it on the right side. Okay, so you just have to press the control plus space so that the statements are showing here keywords and how to use that keywords, so it displaying the right side. Okay, suppose I want to use the switch case expression, so you can see the switch case expression syntax automatically is available here. Okay, so that's why we use the control space, so that automatically we'll get the code. Okay, so this is our program for the single line and multi-line comments. So just I am giving here control, just I am writing here as a comment control ctrl. Okay, control plus space auto code suggestion, control space. Okay, now next one, what is variable and data types. Now the concepts required. Okay, next one, what is variable and data type. Okay, variable means what? We are going to use something variable. Okay, so variable means we have to store the something data, temporary storage in the program. For example, I want to enter the age of the person and I want to check the if the person age is 18 or above 18. So now I want to display the one message, you are eligible for vote. So you are taking the value from the keyboard or from the input. That means it's required something area to store that value, right? Something is required. So this is storing in the RAM. Okay, it's a temporary storage, right? If you written the one of the program in C and C++ for entering, for accepting the any numbers, okay, for example to accepting the two numbers for the additions, and then once you enter the two number for the addition, this you press the enter key, so it will display the addition of the two numbers and the program is get terminated. And one more time we are going to execute, so the whatever the recently you are inserted the data, that is going to be vanish. Okay, and again you are going to enter the other input and we will see the output. Okay, but this is the storing where it's a RAM. Okay, it's a temporary storage, but the data is holding, the where is storing the data is holding means the number as holds, that is what, where your numbers are temporary storing means holding the data, that is what variables. Because you know, you can write ans or sum is equal to something to variable, you can write a plus b, right? So the a plus b are the, we can say the variables. So we are accepting the first number and storing to the a value, you are accepting the second number and storing to the b value, and then you are going to take the one another variable to store the addition of two numbers or variables. Okay, then we are going to store in the different some of the variable. Okay, so we required some space, we required something to hold something data. Okay, suppose if you want to enter the age of the person, so what is the where we are going to store the input, the number, so that's what we need something name, that is what variables. Okay, variables holds the data, so it's a container which is hold the data, that means represent the data. Okay, if you want to enter the any data and want to store as a temporary, so we need to variables, right? So in C, C++, if you want to store the permanent data to our application, so we have the file concepts, because C, C++ not supported to the database. Okay, but at later database concepts, database are invented. So now the files concept are now become old. So nowadays we are using the database. Okay, so that's permanent storage, the values. So now the variable is what? It is used to store the temporary value, or you can say variable is what, that holds the data and values will be varies. Okay, so variable is a container you can see which hold data, which can which can hold data and represents the data. Okay, so okay, which can hold the data. So to represent the data we need variable. Okay, so once we know the variable, so we also store there something temporary data. So data should be the number, that should be the floating points, something name, mean that is a string, collection of character, the different types of the data we are going to store. So that means we require there what, the concept that is known as what, data type, right? So the how we can write the variable name, valid variable name. Suppose if you taken the x variable name, so we can write here the x is equal to 100. So that is what, x is holding the 100 data. Okay, so again they will having the some naming convention, that is what identifier. This all are the identifier. We should we cannot start with the identifier names with what, digits. Okay, we can use the name, but we cannot use a white space. We can use the underscore. We can use a digit, but later alphabets. Okay, this is what standard rule identifiers. Okay, so suppose I am writing here what item price is equal to something, and this x is holding the one data, it's what, integer type, and this item price is holding the data floating points. Okay, so different types of data. Then if you are using here the age, suppose age is the name of the variable, then you can write here that 18, it's also the integer type. Okay, can use here the grade. So single, I want to use grade means a b c d, so the single line character, that is what, a b c, like this way. Okay, suppose string type can store the name, my name. Okay, so this single character, this is what, multiple character, this is floating, and this is what, integer. So variable is storing the all kind of data. Okay, so we can read any variable name, we are holding this integer value data, this one data, this one data, this one. So then how the variable can identify which kind of data is going to be stored? See, so Java is what, statical type of programming language. Okay, and Python is the dynamically type programming language. JavaScript also the dynamically type. That means it does not require the to mention the data type. Okay, if you want to just use the variable, so this variable is holding like as a object. So everything is treated as an object in the Python. Okay, so there is a no limit for storing the value. Okay, so in statical type programming language, if you assign the int, means integer kind of data, this variable only store the integer kind of data, but after the 6 digit it will print a garbage value, because this is beyond the limit. Then if you want to store the large amount of integer value, then you can use the long int. Okay, so we have to use the long int. Again later I want to use the different type data. Okay, something character I want to put there, like a pan number, right? So initially there was not a character, now later we decided to put the character, then again we want to change the data type, so we want to make it as a string. So this is not going to be happen in the Python dynamic type programming, but this is happening in the statical type programming language. Okay, so statical type programming language, once you define the data type, that is int, so this variable is only store the int number. Okay, if you define this float, so only it is going to store the integer as well as float. Okay, this is what statically type programming language. So Java is a statically type programming language. Okay, so you have to define C, C++, Java, this was statical type programming. You have to define the data type. Whenever you are going to use the variable, you must have to define which type of data is going to be stored in that variable. So which type of data? Suppose x is storing 100. That means it's an integer value. So x, what will be the data type we are going to mention here? So that is what int. It's an integer. Okay. So this is what int means, data types. Which type of data is going to be stored? Okay, generally you have the different types of data. Integer type of data, floating points of data, okay, single character, or you can say the string collection of character data. Okay, name you want to print, then you can use which data type you want to use. You can use a string. See, so this is 100. So what I'm going to write here, data type is int. Okay, so this is what valid declaration. Okay, so here int is what? Data types. Okay, x is what? Variables, and 100 is what? Value. Okay, and in between we have the is equal to sign. And this is known as assignment operator. Okay, this is known as assignment operator because we are assigning the value of x is equal to 100. Okay, we are assigning, that means the 100 is going to be storing to the x value. Okay, and this is the variable varies the value, and later the value of x can be the change after operation. Okay, that's why it's a variable, it's not constant. Okay, later it can be the change value if you perform the operation on the x value and also the change. Okay, so the latest value of the x will be printed. Okay, latest value will be the consider. So which kind of data I am storing here? Integer type. So I have, you will use the prefix as int, then variable name, then is equal to 100. Okay, and if you don't want to pass the value in the program, then you can just simply use integer x. So if you want to take the data from keyboards, means input from the customer, then no need to assign the data here. Okay, in the real time always we take the input from the customer, right? So here now you can see the variable name is item price. Okay, so how we can define, how we can apply the data types? We need to write here the variable name. The before that one we need to provide which kind of data is going to be stored. So item price is storing the floating point number of data, so that's why I'm using here the float data types. Okay, float data types. So float data type is also accepted for the integer. So if you provided the float value and if you insert it as a 10, 10 is an integer but it is considered as a 10.0. Okay, that means 10 times 0.6 times 0. Okay, it's considered as a float. Then we have the age. So which kind of data type we can mention for the age? Integer. Okay, integer full. Now we are having the grade something. Okay, so it's having a single character. So for the mention the single character, we have the char, character data type. Okay, so this is what data type, which kind of data is going to be stored this variable. What is variable name here? Grade. Grade is the variable name and char is what data type. Okay, so it's storing only the single character, male, female, f, m, that use, that is a char, single character. Okay, now I want to store the collection of character, that is name. Okay, so which data type is going to be used? This is what primary basic data type, you can see. Okay, primitive data type. Can use here what? String. Okay, so string is what? Class. String is a class in Java, and also you can say this is what data type. Okay, so whenever you write it the string, but it is the consider as a class in Java, and we are writing here the variable names. Okay, so this is considered as an object. Okay, string is the class. It's a data type, but the string is the class. Okay, so collection of character. If you want to display, if you want to store the collection of character, then you can use the string class. Okay, you can make in the double quote. Okay, the double quote is required. So inside the double quote, you can write 101. That is also considered as a string. Okay, the data type is very important. So we are representing which kind of data is going to be stored. Okay, variable is what? we can hold the data. So any variable can perform the operation with that we require a variable to hold the data, and which kind of the data is going to be hold. So that means we need to provide the data types. Okay, so we have here the primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Okay, so let us see what are the primitive data types and what are the non-primitive data types. Okay, so primitive data types. So we have byte, short. Each data type have their the size. Okay, int, long. This is integer numbers. Okay, this is what integer. Okay, numeric integer. Okay, so integer primitive data type. So we have their integer number. Okay, byte, short, int, long. Then decimal number. Okay, so we have the data types. Which one? Float data type. And for decimal number we can use also another data type, that is what? Double. Okay, so what is the difference between the float and double? Nothing. The difference is what? Size. Okay, so float is going to store the 4 bytes and the double is going to store the 8 bytes, right? Double, double, this is what data type. Okay, so character is going to store the 1 byte. Okay, 1 byte. Integer 2 byte and 4 bytes also, because about new 64-bit integer is going to store the 6 up to the 8 bytes. Okay, oh, sorry, 4 bytes. Okay, then actually before that one the integer size was 2 bytes. Nowadays as per the operating system updation, so it's going to store the 4 bytes. Okay, then we have the byte, short, long. So decimal numbers that we have the data types. What are the data types? We have the float and doubles. Okay, the difference is only for the size. Float can store the 2 byte, double is going to store the 8 byte, right? Float is 4 bytes. Then next primitive data is character. Okay, that is what? Single character. If you want to use single characters. Okay, so for this single character we can mention the data type is a char. Okay, not C is not capital. Okay, so we can use the char. Okay, see here we use here the char as a prefix for this variable. So it's showing that which kind of data is going to be stored or holding. Okay, then single character, after that boolean. So if you want to use true and false kind of the data, okay, then you can use here what? Boolean. Okay, true or false. Okay, this is what primitive data types. Boolean data types, that is primitive data types. What is what? What will be the value? That true and false. So how we can use the bool keyword? Okay, use bool keyword. So value will be the true and false. Only two values can be stored for the bool. Okay, bool bool. Okay, you can use the bool as a keyword, or you can say this is what data type, right? You can you see the practically, don't worry. I will take the example for this boolean data types. Okay, so we use some conditional statement so that we can use whether it is true or false. Suppose if you want to check that relation between two numbers, means which one is the greater. Okay, you can also use there, if this one is greater or true, this going to be happen something. Okay, you can perform if the both the conditions are true. Okay, then we have to perform something. It's getting the values also true, then also the false. You can use the boolean variables. Okay, next one is what, non-primitive data types. Okay, non-primitive data types. Okay, so data types category are divided into two types. That is what primitive data type and non-primitive. So primitive data type means the basic data type. Okay, so that is what integer, float, double, single character, boolean. And non-primitive, that is what we have here: class, string, okay, array, string, then array list, okay, then hash map, etc. String, array list, hash map, hash set, etc. Okay, so this is what non-primitive data types. So everything we are going to see the practically, don't worry. Okay, we'll see the examples. Okay, so how we can declare these data types with examples. Suppose, see, so we can write a data type first. So this is int is data type, then you can write x something the value. Okay, that means what, we can provide only the integer value. Also we can write the same thing, the same variable you can use. Okay, this one. So this is what valid statement. Why? Because already we have declared the x. Okay, we have mentioned the x is an integer and the value is something, and later I have assigned a different value of x. So inside this program this is valid. Now here no need to write once again what is the type of this x. Okay, so if you again return here the integer x, okay, that is no need here. Okay, only one time you have to declare the variable, what is the type of that variable, and later you can change this value. Okay, this is valid, means one time you have to declare what is the data type this variable, and in the throughout the whole the program, okay, it's carrying the same data type. Okay, it is going to store only the same data type. Okay, suppose if you want to store the multiple data, suppose we have the something, the team, we have the 11 player of the cricket team, so I want to store the names of the 11 player, so that we can use, and the names mean that is comes under what, string data type, right? Okay, 11 player numbers, 11 player names I want to store. So we can use here which one, string array. Okay, we can use string because they are having the number, so we can use the string class. Okay, string, and then I am using the variable name is name. Okay, that is what object, and I am going to use the array. Okay, we can see the syntax here: square, open square bracket and close square bracket. Then we can provide here the size. Okay, so the new keyword is used for the memory allocations. Okay, the memories get allocated, and you can provide here the size. Suppose I am writing the 10, so the 10 memory allocation is created. So now, like array, so it is going to be store the 10 names of the players. Okay, so how you can initialize, that is get initialization from 0. So what is the name of array or string array? Okay, this is going to become a string array. So now name 0. So in the first position we have something first name. Okay, okay, something here the Rohit, and here the second one, then we have the different, okay, Virat, and etc. Okay, so up to the 9 name ninth. So if you want to store the multiple names, so we can use an array. Okay, string array. Okay, suppose if you want to find the largest number among the two number, then we have the two variables. If you want to find the largest number among the three numbers, then we can use the three variable. If you want to find the number largest number among the 4 to 5, you can use the 4 to 5 variable. Suppose if you want to find the largest number among the 1000 number, among the 500 5 lakhs number, then what you should do, then we have to take the array. Okay, so we need to use the non-primitive data type, right? So we can use there the number of uh, numbers, means the numbers. Okay, so we can do the 1000 numbers. So we cannot going to write the 1000 variable to store the each number, right? What we need to do, we can just create an array. Okay, we can give the size as a 1000, then 1000 number, then you can find, you can perform the some code, you can write the some code for finding the largest number among the 1000. So we are not going to write the 1000 variable for storing the 1000 numbers. So to eliminate this one, that means we are going to use here the array. Okay, so we can, the array name will be, the array type will be different also. If you want to store only integer array, then we can use the integer. Okay, if you want to store the names, then you can use the multiple names and use the string array. Okay, so this is the things everything we are going to see in the practically, don't worry. Just I am going to give you the intro about the variables and data types. Okay, so here one I am going to give you some chart for what the data type and their size. Okay, commonly used data type. Okay, suppose we have the byte data type. What will be the size for the byte? Okay, byte data type is required 1 byte. Size is 1 byte. Hey, do you know what is byte, bit, nibble? Yes, do you know this one? What is byte? What is bit? Do you know? Megabyte, gigabyte, MB, GB, TB. Yes, do you know this one? Hello. Huh. In bit, what are the values available in the bit? Bit means 0 and 1. Okay, zeros and ones. Okay, this is single bits. For example, okay, 0010 something. Okay, this is bits. Okay, binary form. What, everything the data is going to be stored in the electronic device in the binary forms. Okay, in the computer the data is going to be stored in this format. Okay, so how, suppose your file is what, 1 MB. You can say yes, your file is what is your file size is 1 MB. So how it is stored into the your computer? So it is going to be stored in the 01 formats. Okay, first let me check what is byte and bits. Okay, so the byte is what, 1 byte is how many bits? Do you know the conversions? Yes, 1 byte means how many bits? Bits. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. Yes, 1 bytes is equal to 8 bits. Okay, one MB means 1 megabytes mean how many bytes? 1 into, you don't know. Okay, 1024 bytes. Okay, 1 into 1024 bytes. 1024 bytes is equal to 1 MB. Okay, and 1024 bytes into 8, that means bits. Okay, into 8 means in terms of bits, like a GB. Okay, so 1 GB is equal to 1024 MB. Okay, into 1024 bytes. 1 MB is equal to how much? 1024 bytes, right? Into 8. Okay, into 8. That is what bits. So this what the conversions. Also, I'm going to check here. Okay, one word. Okay, one word is equal to. Okay, note down this conversion. This is important. You should have to know this one. Okay, one word is equal to 2 bytes. Okay, one is word is equal to 2 bytes. Okay, means 16 bit. That means what? 16 bit. And one nibble. Okay, one nibble is equal to 4 bits. Okay, just to know understand about this one. Okay, bits. So all the data is going to be stored in 0 and 1 forms. So if you have the 1 MB file, that means it's a 1024 bytes. Okay, and let's get multiplied by 8. That is what? Bits. Okay, so that will be the output is this one, like this way. So like this way your file is going to be stored in your computer, the binary formats. Okay, so this is what bits now. Okay, so any file which is available in your computer, that is what bytes, MB. Okay, gigabytes, megabytes, bytes, right? So this is stored into the 0 and 1's format in the form of bits. Bits is having the only two, 0 and 1. Okay, like this way it is stored to the computer, and it's not understandable, but you can understand. Okay, human can understand which one the file directly we can play, but internal it is going to computer, by internal it is storing like this way. Okay, then we say we have the 4 MB of size, we have the 1 MB 1 GB of size. This is storage. Okay, so this is just different one. Okay, just do the one screenshot for this one. I'm going to remove this. Okay, let me check here, no problem. So now this is about bits and bytes. Just I'm going to check here. Okay, so the size data type chart, which kind of data is holding the what will be the size for this variable. So byte can occupy, that is what size is having 1 byte. 1 byte means 8 bits. Okay, then short data type, that also having the 2 bytes. Okay, it can take the 2 bytes. Int, okay, integer, that is what 4 bytes. Integer, take the 4 bytes. Okay, behind that one it's not going to be stored. Then long can store 8 bytes. Okay, then float 4 bytes. Okay, then we have double for what? Floating point, so it is going to store 8 bytes. So already I have told you. Okay, So what is the difference between the float and double? So both are providing the same for the floating points, to store the floating point or to hold the floating point numbers, but the difference between one only for the size. Okay, so float is going to store the 4 bytes and double is for 8 byte. Then boolean, true and false something. Okay, it's for 1 bit, single bit. Okay. Next one is char also stores single bit, a single byte. This is just a size. Okay, data type and his size. Okay, so Java, it's a statically type programming language. Okay, so you must have to specify the data type. Okay, but later the value is going to be changed, then again you have to change into the program. Okay. Okay, so now we need to write how we can write. For example, suppose if you want to use the byte data type, suppose this is what byte is what data type, then you can write the variable name is equal to something. Okay, this is valid, then you can use the short data type, something variable name is equal to like this way. Okay, then integer x, okay, is equal to, can give the digits like this way. Okay, but I don't suppose if you given what is the size of int is uh, 4 bytes. Okay, it's store only 4 bytes, but I am giving here the above 8 digit, about 8 digits number, so it will print a garbage value. Okay, because this is a beyond the capacity. So for that purpose we can use here the long. Okay, there is also the long. Okay, because long, you can write the x, then you can give the limit access. Okay, then again we have the long, then you can use here the x is equal to 100 is also valid. Why? Because if you use the long, it the variable size is long, variable size is greater, but you can use this minimal value, that is also okay, no problem. Okay, because Java is what statically type programming language. Okay, so I'm writing this statement: Java is statically typed programming language. Okay, in Python, Python is what dynamically type programming language. So in Python, we are not going to write data type. Okay, mention we don't. We are not going to write the mention the data type. So PHP, then Python, then JavaScript also can directly use. Okay, so in Python, everything is treated as an object in. Okay, no need to write the data types. So it's a dynamically type programming language. And you can writing here dynamically. Okay. So for example, if you written here the integer, so then x is equal to something value. Okay, then you can check here the x is equal to checking here something, right? Okay, so here integer x, what is the value of a what is the data type of x? Here integer, then again we have provided x is equal to something welcome, so here it will gives an error. Okay, because x value is integer and you are provided here something uh, string category, string type values. Okay, then again I am writing here x is equal to 10, that is also the valid things. Okay, then I am providing the data type string is equal to x. Okay, then you can write something value, then this give the error. Okay, this is what valid now. Okay, then later again if you want to give 200, now it's valid because already the string is here, sorry, x is here string category type value, so x is equal to 200, so it is read as a string. Okay, then something you can provide pi is equal to something values. Okay, so you can provide any kind of the value type. So but we need to mention the data type, that is mandatory. Okay, data types is mandatory. So we'll see the program so that you can clearly understand. Okay, so can use the plus sign for what? Addition. Okay, if there are the number, then it is used for the addition. And there are, if there is a string, that is for concatenations. Okay, then we use plus sign is for what? String concatenation. Okay, also we can provide a string plus number plus string concatenation also perform using the plus operator. Okay, concatenation. Okay, let us see the programs also. Okay, how much time? 11:37. Okay, so tomorrow we'll see the program, right? Yes, tomorrow we'll see the program for the data types. So, okay, so see you on tomorrow. Okay, bye. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Is there any doubt? Yeah. Which one? This one? You just you just copy and paste like this way. So we have the looping concept. Got it. I got it. Your point. Okay, we have the loop concept. Okay, suppose this one, I want to print my name 5 times. Okay, so no need to write the SOP for the 5 times, right? So then what we need to do? We have the concept of looping. Okay, so just I am using here the for loop. Then int I is equal to 1. Okay, I less than is equal to 5 and I plus plus. Okay, then inside that one you can write this statement SOP and you can execute how many times you want to execute, then you can execute. Okay, so only one statement, then you can write here. Okay, if you want to use the repeated iteration, then you can perform. So now here what is going to be happen, the gunwan is going to be print 5 times. Okay, you can see repetition. So we, this concept is achieved by the looping. This is looping. Okay, we have this concept, we are going to do by the step by step. Don't worry, everything I am going to cover.